Hi everyone, my name is Krisha Sarabone, also known as the Giant Slayer, and I simplify the road to profitability through the creation of programs, products, and services. All that really means is I help you to identify what your pain is and how to profit from it. But today I want to talk about gut purpose, and I read an article that was talking about how they came up with the gut milk campaign. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that ad that says got milk with a glass of milk, and I started reading up because I read various topics, right? So I started reading where this actual ad came from. And with the gut milk topic, what they did is that they were doing an experiment. They wanted to come up with a creative way to advertise and advocate for milk. So they came up with this campaign where they would remove milk from the diet of people who use milk on a daily basis. So what they did is they did an experiment. And in this experiment, there were a couple people who use milk every day, but they gave them a challenge where they were not allowed to use milk for a specific period of time. Now, during the experiment, what they found is one of the participants, he normally had cereal every single morning. So one morning he poured out his cereal bowl and then he was about to grab the milk, and then he realized he was a part of this experiment, which meant that he could not have milk. So he realized that the milk was missing from his cereal and he couldn't have it. Another person who was an avid coffee drinker, they were about to pour milk into their, hey Ladonna, thank you for joining me. They were about to pour milk into their coffee, and then they realized that they couldn't have milk. So they did this for an entire week, removing milk from the diet of people who use milk on a daily basis. And what they realized at the end of the campaign, they asked every single person, what did you experience when you realized that you couldn't have milk? Most of them, what they said was got milk. And that's actually how they came up with the got milk campaign that you see on billboards, that we are all familiar with, because they remove milk from the diet of people who normally use milk every day. I give that example to say that things are sometimes very important in our life, but we don't realize that it is missing until it is gone. Today I title this broadcast Got Purpose, because there are a lot of people that live life without purpose, not realizing that it's missing. It is just like those in the experiment who use milk every single day, but milk seems so insignificant because it was a part of their life. So they were using milk on a daily basis, but for the purpose of the experiment, they removed milk and everybody was like, got milk. Now, purpose is a part of your daily life, and it should be a part of your career, a part of your family life, a part of your existence. But we never realize that purpose is missing until we realize that fulfillment is gone. When we go through the routine of doing things every single day, we don't realize how important it is. So today I want to talk about God purpose. When we talk about God purpose, purpose is one of the most important discoveries that you will ever make. I believe that in the mind of the Creator, He created each of us for a specific purpose, and sometimes we overlook that purpose because we go through life not realizing how important purpose is. I'm an advocate for purpose because I believe that it is the foundation of life. It is the foundation of existence. You have to know the purpose of a thing so that you don't abuse a thing. So you need to know the purpose of your life, the purpose of your relationships, the purpose of the things that you use, the purpose of your job, the purpose of your career, the purpose of your business. So I think I said enough purposes in that statement, but it goes to show you how important purpose is. I want you to type that in the comments for me. Purpose is important. Purpose is important. This is why my life's mission, and one of the things that I do is I'm so passionate about people understanding their purpose. Today I want to go through a simple lesson today that helps you to begin to identify the road of purpose. I lived more of my life not knowing my purpose than I've actually lived knowing my purpose. And I can guarantee you, in the years that I know my purpose, I've made greater impact because I know who I'm called to. I know who I'm designed to serve. I know what my life mission is. I know what every day should look like for me. I'm sure you could say the same thing, LaDonna. Like, the purpose discovery is one of the most, I see you, Nicole, one of the most important discoveries that we will ever go on a journey to find. I call it a journey of discovery because I believe purpose is an evolution. Even though you have a general idea of who you are and what you're called to do, you always evolve, you always learn, you always grow. So even though you understand initially what your purpose is, you may be living in your purpose right now and have no clue that it's purpose, because it's like got milk. Because it's there, you have not identified this specific thing as purpose. The exercise that we're going to do today is going to help you identify specifically what that purpose is and how you can use it to transform your life. One of my clients always says that I love using chair examples, but I love using the chair example because it's so relatable, right? The chair and the table serve a similar purpose. Even though it's similar, it's not the same. So even though many of us we haven't put a value on it, LaDonna, I agree, and we need to put a value on purpose. Even though the chair and the table has a similar function, they don't have the same purpose. And sometimes we mistake function for purpose. Let me explain what I mean. And many of you who have been following me for a while, you probably heard this example 1,000 times, but I'm going to say it 1,000 more. Because a table has the ability to hold things. It has a structure to support. A chair also has the ability to hold things and the structure to support. How many of you place books or maybe clothes or things on your chair? Just by a show of hands, tell me if you are guilty of placing books on chairs, placing just items, random items, you place it on a chair. If you're guilty, say that's me, right? Then we can also place things on a table. So even though they have a similar function, they don't operate the same. Now let's dig a little bit deeper into that. I can sit on a table, but a table was not designed for me to sit on, right? I can stand on a chair, but a chair was not designed for me to stand on. So even though something can be effective and it can be in use every single day, there is absolutely a chance that we may be using things in a way that it was not designed. I love to use this story of my brother because he is an advocate. He always does this, right? Every time we're putting things together, he never reads the instructions because he says to me, Krisha, I could look at it and I could design it. He said, I could look at it and I could build it. And one time I bought this bookcase, right? And we were putting up the bookcase and he said, I could look at the box and I could design it. I could look at it. I don't know if it's a man thing. Do you ladies do that? I don't know if it's a man thing that they don't want to read instructions, right? So he's like, I could build this. I'm going to look at it and I'm going to build it. So he did build the bookcase. But after he mounted it up, the bookcase was leaning to the side and we had about 10 extra screws. Now, what he said to me at that point in time was that, oh, they put extra screws in the box. This is because if something goes wrong, they want you to have extra. I said, that doesn't sound right. And then the bookcase was leaning because he didn't follow the instructions. Now, that's sometimes how some of us build our life. We look at other people and we say, oh, that is what they're doing. That's what life is supposed to look like. I can do that. And we end up building life and then we realize life is leaning and there's some extra screws and there's some extra things in the form of your skills, in the form of your ability, in the form of your talent. And you are there with a leaning bookcase. But you have a leaning bookcase because you have not read the instructions. And this is what happens to many of our lives today. Because we don't value purpose, like Donna mentioned earlier, and we haven't took the time to discover it. We go through life being a chair in the world of a table or being a table in the world of a chair. When that happens, abuse is inevitable. Dr. Miles Monroe says anything you don't know the purpose of, abuse becomes inevitable. Now, let's talk about credibility and qualifications. One of the things that people struggle with in their journey to purpose is credibility and qualifications. Because we either believe we aren't credible enough to talk about this particular topic or we aren't qualified enough to talk about this particular topic. Now, I believe that your life qualifies you. I believe that your knowledge, your skills, and your abilities, your experiences all make up the sum total of who you are. So it's not by chance that your passion is what it is. It's not by chance that your design is what it is. It's not by chance that you like what you like, that you dislike what you dislike. It's not by chance that you had a specific experience. Actually, they all add up to the building of the table in the world of a table or the chair in the world of a chair to give it support. Now, I asked this question before, I'm going to ask it again. When you go to buy a piece of furniture, let's say you go to buy a chair, do you ask the manufacturer? Of course, we may identify brands, etc. Yes, but do you go ask them? I want to know where this chair was made, who made it, how many processes this chair went through. I want to know that there's a guarantee that this chair can do what it is functioned to do. Actually, what you may do is read the instruction manual. Your life is an instruction manual given to you by the Creator to understand your purpose. But you're looking for the instructions on the outside instead of looking for the instructions on the inside. Now I want to share my screen with you guys, and let's go through a very short teaching that I want to do today. And of course, we said we're talking about God purpose, right? So let's begin talking this whole talk about purpose, why it's important, and how do we discover it. So you would notice here I have a young lady Jane and I have a young man Jack on the screen. And then you will notice that I also have 3 elements. I call these elements baskets. Sometimes I use different words, but for the purpose of today, I'm going to call them baskets. Now in the first basket, you would see that I have things that Jane or Jack enjoys doing. So Jane enjoys teaching, she enjoys writing, she likes nature. Jack is good with his hands, so that is in the first basket. So I want you to do this exercise with me. I want you to begin to document what is in the first basket. I want you to track your likes, your dislikes, things that come natural to you, things that you're passionate about, and I want you to begin to write what those things are in basket number 1. If you're following with me, I want you to type in the comments basket number 1. So basket number 1 says what you're passionate about. I like to write, I like to teach, I like quiet time. This is your design. You are designed this way. I don't want you to try to build life by building a box, looking at someone else, trying to determine if this is what your life is supposed to be. Because you will end up being the lopsided bookcase with some screws that are left out. And the screws are everything that makes up our life. Now, your hobbies are your hobbies for a particular reason. Don't discount hobbies and think that hobbies don't form a part of your purpose. This is why in basket number 1, we're going to write everything that we like. We're going to write everything that we're good at. We're going to write everything that we're skilled at. And we're going to begin to understand our design, our individual design. We're going to begin looking at the manual called life, looking at what the Creator has put on the inside of me. And because He has put it on the inside of me, it means that I can use it. It is a tool. There are no extra screws in this box, right? Now the second basket, which looks like a briefcase, but the second basket is your job experience. It is your career. The second thing I like to challenge you to do today is to write down everything that you did in your job history, right? In your job history, what are some of the things that you do? Write down every job that you've had from your first job to your current job and write down what you did in every job. There's a reason why this is important because I said to you there are no extra screws. So it means that everything has a part to play in my development and in my purpose. So because there are no extra screws, I remember when I first started in my career, I worked in insurance. I was an underwriter. I learned to assess risk. I learned to think critically to be able to underwrite, to write up percentages for insurance and stuff like that. It was nothing to do with my passion, but it was a job. The job gave me a tool, which is now a screw that helps me in my purpose. So now in my ability as a coach, I'm able to think, I'm able to make risk assessments, and I'm able to now look at a situation and make a sound decision because of what insurance taught me. Now, when I worked in insurance, I wouldn't say that it was my favorite job. I wouldn't say that it was something that I would volunteer to do. I wouldn't even say that I would do it right now, but it was a part of my life. It was a part of my design, which means in building my bookcase of my life, it is absolutely important. So you need to look at what are the dynamics of every job that I've had and what has it taught me. Those are the tools and the screws that you're going to use in purpose. Then finally, I want you to look at your life itself. Your life is designed in a specific way, and your life is also a tool. So it means that If you are a single mom, it means that if you're passionate about marriage, it means that if you are a career person, it means that if you are a minister, it means that if you are a coach, it means that your life is also a tool and your life is a skill. Your life is absolutely a skill that you can use in the development and understanding of your purpose. So you see, guys, it is not as complicated as we think it is and as we make it, because if we start understanding and looking at what is in the box, we're going back to my example of the bookcase. There are pieces in the box. There are different pieces of wood and there are screws. They all tie together. Which means in understanding my purpose, there are different tools, there are different pieces of my life that go together to form my purpose. So I want you to start looking. Take a look at your life. We're talking about God purpose. Look at the way you are designed. Begin to write out your design, and then I'm going to teach you how to look at this design to find the common thread in this design to then understand your life purpose. I hope this exercise has helped you, and I hope it has brought some clarity, or it begins to bring some clarity to those of you in pursuit of purpose. And I always say that you should push past pain and passionately pursue purpose, because knowing your purpose tells you what to say yes to, and it tells you what to say no to. I believe your place of purpose is your place of provision. And I have used one message and I've been able to split it into 8 different ways by mastering my purpose. I live every single day as a day of purpose. Purpose is not business. Purpose does not mean I need to become an entrepreneur. That is not what purpose is. Let us not make them as they are one and the same. They aren't one and the same. Purpose is understanding my design, using the tools of my design, using the equipment of my design to now style my life. Just as I style my hair, I said to myself, oh, I was tired of wearing a one-sided bob, so I wanted to wear a middle part. I decided to style my hair. Just as we pick clothes in our wardrobe, we like specific things. Why don't we style our life? What does your life need? Do you need confidence right now? Then you need to go grab some confidence off the shelf. Do something that helps you build your confidence and add it to your life. Do you need to know your purpose right now? This is why you're watching this video training, God Purpose. Grab the teaching from off of your screen, do the work, and begin to answer your questions. Nobody's going to do the work for you. We unfortunately have to do the work for ourselves. So life is designed as a tool. The maker created a handbook. The handbook has clues that is inside of your life. Look at the inside of your life and begin to look at the tools so that you could begin building and constructing a life that is full of purpose. My name is Krisha Serabon, also known as the Giant Slayer, and if you need any help understanding your purpose, I do what is called purpose mapping, where we go through this exercise and I help you to see the common thread in your life that creates your purpose. Now, I want you guys to go out, do these exercises, and continue to pursue your purpose, because don't be like Milk, the Got Milk commercial, and wait till you realize fulfillment is missing in your life to determine that it's because you're not living a life of purpose. Have a great day, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.